Don't miss this. Don't miss this revelation. Kingdom, power, glory. When Jesus was walking with the 12, don't miss this. He was walking with them, but they had no revelation of who he is. My God. You can walk with Jesus and not know him. The 12 were walking with Jesus for 2 years. And Jesus asked them, who do you say I am? And they all answered wrong, except one. Don't miss this. Don't miss this. Part of the reason why you're now overcoming some wars and battles, you don't have a revelation of who Jesus is from the Father. Revelation of Jesus Christ from the Father. Take notes. Is how you are built to fight the gates of hell. So any church that does not have revelation of who Jesus is not a church. It is flesh and blood. I'm going to say it again. Matthew 16:15. Jesus was walking with 12. He asked them, who do you say I am? Take note, I am. Some said Elijah. Can you imagine? Oh, you are Jeremiah. Can you imagine? They are walking with Jesus and they're calling him Elijah. But watch this, don't miss this. Peter, the one who loved him the most. Take note of that. It is the one who loves Jesus the most that the Father reveals Jesus to the most. It's based on love. Revelations of Jesus is based on your love for him that the Father reveals him. Peter loved Jesus the most, but Jesus loved John the most. That's why Peter had a revelation of who Jesus is, watch this, as Son of God. But John had the book of Revelation. See the difference? You cannot fight the gates of hell. And I'm going to let you today, you need to know what's attacking my heart. What's attacking my flesh? What's attacking my mind? What's attacking my will? What's attacking my emotions? Tonight, I'm going to tell you so that you'll be able to discern it and pick up the right weapon and fight. You can lower it just a little bit, Corey, please. I'm going to say, you need to know, my body, what is that? My heart, my soul, my will. That's 5 areas, right? Okay, good. Love the Lord your God with all your heart. There are 5 areas we have to love God. Well, guess what? Death and hell comes for those 5 areas. Where you love God the most, death and hell targets. So let's break it down. Everything is not demon and devil. Some is death and hell. We're going to break it down. Don't miss this. Death works with devils. Hell works with demons. That's what Jesus said. Cast out devils. Heal the sick. Raise the dead. You realize he said cast out devils. He didn't say cast out demons. The difference between devils and demons. Watch this. Devils come from the snake family. Demons come from the Nephilims. Demons come from the Nephilims. When the flood came and took out the giants, their bodies went to hell, but their spirits remained on earth looking for a body. Those are demons. They are half human. Watch this. They are half human, half animal. Is everybody catching the mixture? That's why demons go for humans, because they are half human. See, half human, half demon, half animal. They are mixed. So you want to get your pen and paper, but also these recordings, Jesus have told me to put it on YouTube. So we are compiling all the teachings. We're going to put it on YouTube for people to look, listen, and learn. You need to be able to identify. Let me say it again. Your greatest enemy is the flesh. You realize I didn't say Satan. Your greatest war is your heart. Your greatest battle will be your mind. The greatest enemy when you are fighting that you can't see is pride. Jesus told me pride comes after you have been in the glory. You can't see it. It comes from behind. It don't come in front of you. Pride comes from behind you. So, who attacks which? Are you ready? Get your pen and paper right. Death attacks your soul. Hell attacks your heart. Devils attack your flesh. That's why in the beginning, God cursed the snake to eat the dust. We were created from the dust. So because we were created from dirt and the snake was cursed to eat the dirt, then snakes are after our flesh to eat. Is everybody getting it? The number one enemy of all women is snakes. They are after your flesh. But I'm going to go deep. Which one goes after your emotions? Then you'll be like, okay, now I can recognize this one is death, this one is hell, this one is devils, this one is demons, this one is Satan. Read the book of Revelations. It talks about in the end times, the war will be fighting, the false prophets, the beast, the dragon. You need to know which ones they are attacking. Like, for example, the woman who sits on the dragon, she's after prophets. She wants our blood. So all prophets need to know about that woman who sits on the dragon. She's after our blood. She wants to drink it. That's why prophets are being attacked the most. I know who's behind it. It's that woman, the mother of Babylon. So everybody, don't miss this. How do you fight the gates of hell? Jesus said, who do you say I am? It didn't say gates of death. It says gates of hell. Who do you say I am? They had a some say relationship with him. They didn't have a revelation from the Father of who he is. Write it down. In order to walk with Jesus and have an intimate relationship with him, you must have revelation of who he is from the Father to walk with him in that revelation. So, for example, if the Father revealed him as bridegroom, you overcome a pit of hell. Don't miss this. Every revelation of Jesus Christ, the Father gave you, gives you a key over hell. My God. And so when Jesus said, Peter, I've changed your name. Exactly what Corey was saying. Peter was his Adamic name. No, sorry. Simon was his Adamic name. Come on, somebody. His Adamic name. Remember Adam? You realize the man, Adam, his name didn't change. The woman's name changed. We'll get there soon. Don't miss this. Adam, the man. His name didn't change. But after Adam, God started changing the names of men, like Abram to Abraham. See, why was he changing names? Because those men had revelation. When you have revelation of Jesus Christ, he has to give you a new heavenly name to bring heaven on earth. And Peter was given the keys of where? Heaven. See, When you're given keys, God changed your name. Watch this. Simon, Simon. Your name will no more be Simon, but Peter. And unto you I give the keys of the kingdom. Why was he giving keys? Because he had revelation of who Jesus is. From who? The Father. The Father gives you revelation of who Jesus is. Because you love Jesus the most, the Father trusts you. Why wasn't he revealed to John? But it was revealed to Peter. Because Peter loved Jesus the most. But Jesus gave the book of Revelation to John. You see the difference? We're going to break this down. Don't miss this. It's all based on your love. It's not based on studies or teachings or fasting and praying. No, whoever loved Jesus the most, the Father sees. Oh, I'm telling you right now, don't miss this. Out of the 12, Peter loved Jesus the most. And the Father sees the heart. So he revealed it to Peter. Peter, he says, thou art the Son of God. Come on, somebody. See, Son of God. So Peter, Simon, now his sonship name is Peter. He said, upon you, I will build my church. And what? A lot of people are building churches, but they don't know about the gates of hell. We need to get back to Jesus' teaching. He said, upon you, this rock. He said, what is the rock? How many rocks did David pick up? 5 stones. Rock. Jesus is a rock of offense. You use rocks to take out giants. That's the first thing David did. David took a rock to fight a giant before he took the sword. You got to know which weapon to pick up to fight which giant. Some giants need rocks. Some need sword. Peter was given a rock and keys. Oh, come on, somebody. Every season, right, is a different battlefield. It's a different war zone. You cannot fight the same battles you fought last year, this year. Some of you have heard preachers say, new level, new devils. It's true. New realms, when you walk with Jesus in new realms and new dimensions of intimacy, relationship, fellowship, and communion, your attacks increase because you're becoming a threat. Satan don't attack anybody who's not a threat to him. Especially when you have revelations of who Jesus is, you are a threat to him. Because you're going to tear down, you're going to destroy his works on earth, and you're going to destroy his kingdom in hell. So don't miss this. This is very important when you're walking with Jesus. They were walking with Jesus and they had no revelation. They heard preachings. They saw miracles, signs, and wonders. They walked with him day and night, yet they didn't know him. So just because someone claims to be walking with Jesus and teaching him, that don't mean they have revelation. Revelation is a sign. Don't miss this. Revelation is a sign that person walks with the Father in Jesus. Revelation. The book of Revelation. He didn't say the book of Bible school. He didn't say the book of theological school, scholars. No. Revelations is a sign you love Jesus the most, and you have been given keys, and you have a name change. But this is what many people don't teach: the gates of hell, the depths of hell, the depths of death, the depths of Satan, the depths of the Antichrist. Some things I can't release yet. I'm sorry, because it's heavy. It's heavy. But we're going to be fighting all these entities in this end time. So you need to know the depths of them. I'll give you one example. You ready? There's one time I was in hell with Jesus. Don't miss this. I'll share it. When he gave me the keys of death and hell, he said, I'm looking for a man in your generation whom I can give these keys to. This was in 2018, during 120 days shut away in the closet. Jesus walked in the closet and he had the ancient keys in his right hand. So many keys on a padlock. It was in his pocket. He pulled it out. And he said, I'm looking for a man in your generation whom I can give these keys. Take note. There's more I want to share with you, because you need to know which ones overcome Satan. The keys of death and hell, that's for death and hell. So that's when he said, I'm taking you to the death and hell process. And at the end of the process, I'm going to give you the keys in this end times. And whatever you bind in hell, I will bind in heaven. Whatever you bind in hell, I will bind in heaven. Whatever you loose from hell, I will loose from heaven. See, Peter was given the keys of the kingdom. Those keys are now in the hands of my spiritual father, David Ite. But there are other keys. Jesus looks for a man who's willing to go through the process and pay the price to be given the keys. The keys is not for them. It's for the earth. It's for humanity. It's for mankind. And you can't use the keys if your process is not finished. You can't. Because you have to go through it, experience death and hell. You have to experience it. Experience is the best teacher. There are ancient gates and everlasting doors down there. But there's one more I want to share with you. This is important. He said, in order to overcome the depths of Satan, I have to give you the bright and morning star. That's what I want. I'm also going to teach on that tonight. What is the bright and morning star? That's Jesus' name. He's the bright and morning star. Take note. When your love for Jesus increase through tests, trials, temptations, and tribulations, the Father starts joining in that relationship. And watch this. Jesus reveals the Father reveals Jesus to you. That revelation from the Father and Jesus, you become like them. You look like them, because that light from their face is coming on your face and your heart, and is translating their DNA into you. Basically, you are being transformed and transfigured. So let me say that again. What's attacking your flesh is snakes, is devils. What's attacking your soul is death. See that? What's attacking your heart? People say, oh, my heart is broken. You broke my heart. That was hell through the person. Because hell attacks your heart. Once a heart is broken, right, it no more has defense. Have you seen people's heart break and they kill themselves? There you go. Death infiltrates the soul. Hell infiltrates the heart. But first, devils test the flesh. Once they get your flesh, those two come in. You see how they work? So your flesh is weak. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. All your weaknesses are in your flesh. Don't miss this. Your weaknesses is not in your soul. Your weaknesses is not in your heart. Your weaknesses are in your flesh. Jesus said it. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. You see, it's our flesh that's, so whenever you feel weak, it's not you feeling weak spiritually. No, you're feeling weak because your flesh is manifesting. But your spirit is strong, but your flesh is weak. Jesus said it. My spirit is willing, but my flesh is weak. Pray that you don't enter into temptation. See? When your flesh is weak, temptations come. And temptations come from devils. They want your flesh. It doesn't mean they have your soul yet. So everybody, do you see the breakdown? Sin is the flesh. Break it down. Sin is the flesh. That's devils. You see? Your soul is death. That's iniquity. See? And the heart is what? Hell. That's transgressions. That's why God told Moses, forgive sin, iniquity, transgression. It's three. Flesh, soul, heart. That's why Jesus was whipped in the flesh. You know why his flesh was ripped and beaten? For sin. Everything is strategy of the Father. The Father knew exactly when he was sacrificing Jesus, what price it will pay for these areas. Death and hell will be overcome through my son. Sin, iniquity, and transgression will be forgiven. Jesus finished the full work, but he had to go to court in hell. I want to talk to you about that. When Jesus went to hell, he went to the courts of hell. And he had a conversation with death, hell, and Satan. Y'all want to hear it? Ooh. His footsteps when he was stepping into death and hell, Jesus' footsteps was earthquakes. That's why he says when Jesus said it's finished, there was an earthquake. The earthquake was not only on earth, I want to call it hellquake. Hell was quaking, shaking. Each step Jesus took to go and rescue Adam and Eve. Don't miss this. Each step Jesus took with boldness and sternness to go to death and hell. He wasn't playing. His face was fire. Eyes like fire. It was the fire of the Father in his eyes. He took each step he took. I wish I can explain it. I wish you can see it. Death and hell was shaking. Each step he took to go down there. So he arrived first to death, and then hell, and then Satan. But Satan had the keys. That's where they hold their meetings to plot and destroy mankind. It's there. So can I share? There's so much I want to share with you so that you can be aware. There is a room in hell called the FBI and CIA. And when you go in that room with Jesus, if he takes you there, you will see on the board the most wanted ministries, the most wanted prophets, the most wanted apostles, the most wanted nations, and the most wanted man, the most wanted woman, and they are given assignments by demons to go and take them. Demons are given assignment, go to that ministry. And guess how they come on earth? They pass through the gate of death and hell. So now imagine having those keys. I saw some names I can't mention. The most wanted ministers. They had a list of men of God and women of God they are targeting. Oh, everything starts in hell, my friend. It don't start on earth. And let me tell you, death and hell have agents, just like the police. I want you all to look at the police. The police, the America has FBI, CIA, right? And they have some organization. Same thing in hell. There are demons who are in the FBI. There are demons who are in the CIA. They are high-ranking chief prince demons. And they work through the government. They work through businesses. They work through Illuminati. And they target specific men on earth to bring down. At least when they reach their destiny, it will destroy them. That's why when you see some men of God going through things, don't join. Like, for example, I'll tell you, and I can't wait to meet him, Prophet Lovey. I saw his name down there. So when I see people calling him names, I'm like, I need to meet him so I can tell him what I saw in him. His name was on the board. And there are other men and women of God. The Lord said, don't, I'm just saying it now as a testimony. I have to meet them in secret and tell them, look, I saw your name in the courts of hell. This is what they are planning against you. A watchman. So when I see people calling some men of God, I know their names were there. Warlock, cult, and all that. Holy Spirit, remind me, remember who you saw. My sons. They are see, some of the men of God, FBI demons want them. Some of the men of God, CIA demons. These are high spiritual wickedness where in high places, these are high placement demons after them. And you are joining YouTube and not knowing the prince of the power of the air is using you. So you see YouTube, there's a principality behind them using those people to character assassinate and accuse. Who do you think they're working for? They're working for Satan. The Lord said, don't put it on, don't say it yet. I will send you to them one by one. I saw their names. My name was there. Look, you shouldn't, look, everyone on the prayer line, you shouldn't be scared to go to hell. You're working with Jesus. Hell is not, it's not every part of hell that's scary. No, except the punishment areas. They got some places that have prisons, prisons and pits and palace. Yes, there are prisons in hell, there are palaces in hell, and there are pits. There are different parts of hell. It's a kingdom. Just like America have jails and then prisons, same thing down there. You shouldn't be scared. Jesus have the keys of death and hell. You shouldn't be scared. You're walking with the faithful and true witness. You're walking with the King of Kings. You're walking with the Son of God. You should be scared. You're only scared if you have fear in you. That's why you have to go through that process for him to get it out of you so you can visit there more frequently. So be careful. When I say be careful listening to what people say about certain men and women of God. You haven't been to hell to see the names in the boardroom of hell. And I need to find that visitation. It's in my iPad. The boardroom of hell. And Satan was sitting there with the high-ranking demons, giving them orders who to target. And guess what he does? He studies, okay, someone like me, he studies my weaknesses, see that? And then he arranges people on earth to work. So he studies the men and women of God. He studies our weaknesses and our pasts. And then he sends agents into the church to infiltrate the church and disguise. They disguise themselves. Oh, I'm a prophet. Me, I see you. All of you need to reach that level. Reach that level with Jesus. It's called face-to-face vision. It's 2020 vision. You see the way Jesus sees, not your eyes. How did he see snakes in the Pharisees? You need those eyes of Jesus. You say, Jesus, give me your eyes to see religion. Ah, my friends, you will see half human, half vipers when they're talking on Facebook or YouTube. You'll be seeing snakes talking. You are listening to the message, but I'm seeing a snake. I pray you have the face of Jesus, not your eyes, his face. He said, I will show you who is speaking of me and speaking against me. But you have to be in my face to see the way I see. Is your name down there? There's also a library of hell. We'll talk about that one later. And there's a trophy room in hell. It's a kingdom. How are you going to take down a kingdom? You don't know their weaknesses and strength. Satan's weakness is the heart of hell. So that's where you throw fire. It's a camp. I was shocked. I was standing there with Jesus and Michael. Angel Michael was there too. He said, this is the boardroom of hell. Look, listen and learn. He said, look, I looked at the board. My friends, I was shocked. Let me give you one. The oh my God, I need my iPad if I remember it. They had a list, right? Prayer life, worship life, praise life, and then they gauge your percentage. So if your prayer life is at 10%, they know. If they, man, it's CIA in hell. They study the man of God's prayer life, his worship life, his love life. They study it like FBI. You see the FBI? They study their prospects, the most wanted, because that most wanted person is causing too much havoc to their kingdom. So they must take them out. That one thing Jesus told me, he says, you are taking too many souls out of here. That's why you are a target. It's time for all of us to mature into sonship so that the things you hear on the news or Facebook, oh, this man's a false prophet, be very careful. The people who you are calling false prophets, me, I will tell you, in the courts of hell, they are true prophets, but they have deceived you to call them false, to join them. I said, hey, the time, look, they study your evangelism, prayer life, worship, praises, reading the Bible, tithes, offering, they study it all. And then watch this. If you have anger, right, they attack you with anger, and then your prayer life come down to zero. They listen to what the demon said. Satan told them, bring everything down. Yeah, Father, I need that. I need next tomorrow. No, Friday, iPad. I'll read everything to you. The boardroom of hell. The most wanted ministries. Holy Way was there. I saw Prophet Lovey there. I saw other names there. The people who you are calling false, people are calling false, they are of God. But they have seduced and deceived men through the prince of the power of the air to accuse falsely in the courts of hell. In fact, be careful. The gates of hell is towards the church. So when I hear people say, oh, I'm church hurt, oh, this pastor wronged me, be careful. It was the gates of hell. Remember the gate, go for the heart, church hurt. Let me say it again. Hell goes for the hearts of people. So jealousy, envy, you see all those things, it coming from hell. Let me tell you which one is coming from hell, which one is coming from death. Slander, gossip, false accusation, fault finding, anything you use your mouth to speak evil comes from death. Life and death is where? In the power of the tongue. So where does death come from? The tongue of hell. Death has a tongue. That means death is a person. And death have 7 sons. His death sits on his throne, and he has 7 thrones around him, and he has 7 sons. Death looked like a fallen man. When you see death, he has this darkness and shadow around him. Shadow of death. It's dark shadows. He looks like a fallen man, not the original man, the fallen man. Hell looks like the fallen woman. Because Lucifer is Satan is the what? The fallen one. So it's all those in hell, they are fallen ones. So how do they make a man of God fall? Just because they fall, that don't mean they fail Jesus. I've fallen many times. And I had to fall to know these fallen demons. Let me say this again. A righteous man will fall 7 times. Do you know why God allows a man of God to fall? So we can learn not only wisdom, but to learn how these things make us fall. It was in the fall I learned these things. You slip, you stumble, you fall. That's not a sin. When you fail, that's a sin, because love never fails. The righteous fall 7 times. They go to 7 years. In order for Jesus to make you righteous, pride must fall. Just because you fall, that don't mean you have failed, my friend. My friends, when I saw death, death looks like a man who's wearing dark shadows. His garment is dark. And he has 7 sons that follow him. Hell is a woman with many breasts. We'll talk about that later. We need to know these things. How are we going to fight if you don't know your opponent? How are you going to fight if you don't study your opponent? Know your opponent's weakness and, oh my God, you need to. This is what you call training for reigning. Training for war. Train my hands for war, my fingers to fight. Everybody, do you see it? Death give birth to devils. Hell give birth to demons. So, excuse my language. You ready for this? Imagine, excuse my language. Imagine when death and hell are intimate. What happens? It's nasty. Excuse my language. Imagine when death and hell are in the bed of Satan. Oh, do you know that's what happens in hell? You say, wait a minute. We cast out all these demons. We kill some of them. Where are the rest coming from? Yes. That should let you know somebody's pregnant, giving birth to them. Somebody's pregnant, because how are there a million demons on the earth during summertime? Oh, yeah, summertime. They come in. A million demons. Where did they come from? What, do they duplicate? What? No. Death and hell are mating and birthing them. It's nasty. This is what the body of Christ needs to know. Death is a man, hell is a woman. So imagine when them two come together. Nasty. They work together. Sicknesses work with death. Disease work with hell. This is what Jesus says: heal the sick, cure the diseases, cast out devils. Where are they coming from? Raise the dead. Why raise the dead? Death has them. Heal the sick, devils. Cure diseases, demons. Why? They cannot see me or enter my glory. These things need to be destroyed. So when you destroy the works of Satan, now people are ready for face-to-face. They can't see his face because they got veils and scales. So what are you facing? Man, my flesh. That's a devil. It's temptation. Some temptations is your flesh. Watch this. It's weak. It's called the lust of the flesh. Don't take note of this. There are lusts that come from your flesh that have no devils involved. It's your desires. And then there's another one where you don't have desire, but see that? Your flesh desire it. That's the ones where devils attach themselves to your flesh. You see the difference between, it says a man is tempted by his own desires in James. So there are temptations that we are tempted, we tempt ourselves by our desires of our flesh. But there are others, and you can tell the difference. Come on, you can tell the difference. You can tell the difference between selfish ambition that's led by lust of the flesh, and then there's also lust of the eyes. That's the soul, that's demons. It's a different thing, demons and devils. If you don't recognize it, you'd be like, oh, you are praying amiss. Look at those three: pride of life, lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh. See? Death, hell, Satan. Recognize it. Why am I going through these mind battles? And then recognize which one do you go through the most, because the mind battles, they want your crown. The mind battles, come on, some of us, we recognize which one do you battle with the most. Mind battles, heart battles, or flesh. You need to know the difference. Women go through emotional battles because of their nature. So the devils and demons target women's feelings and emotions. Men is the heart and mind and the body. This is the devil. See, this one is a demon. This one is me. No. This one is not Satan. This one is me. Discern. This is me. This is my own desire. I've been looking at it. Watch this. This is how you know it's your own desire. Your eyes have been looking at it for a long time, and it has formed, watch this, it has formed an image and an idol in your soul. So excuse me to say, you look at a woman for a long time, see that? We're going through this earth. We need a new earth. We need new earth. We need a new earth for real, because gross darkness is upon the face of the earth. Yea, thick darkness upon the earth. But a new heaven, a new earth, we ain't gonna have these problems. No death, no tears. Bible says, it says God will wipe away our tears. Revelations 21. But you need to know these. Hey, but you see how they work together? Death work with devils. Demons work with hell. And Satan is, look, let me say one more thing. Satan rarely comes on earth. No. He rarely comes on earth. If you hear somebody say, oh, I am Satan. No, they are using Satan's name. Satan don't come on earth. He doesn't. Why should he come? He's a king. Kings don't just show up unless it's what? An intense war and battle. He sends his subjects. Satan rarely comes on earth. You know why? I'm going to tell you why. Jesus bound him in hell. When he went to hell and took the keys of death and hell, he handed him over to hell and death. Can you imagine? That's why I said just have the keys of death and hell. He didn't say the keys of Satan. You see? He has the keys of death and hell. If somebody has keys of death and hell, what does that mean? You can throw people in there. So guess where Satan is? He's chained. Sorry, he's bound in hell. He can't come on earth until his appointed time to come, which will be when the Antichrist comes. He's coming with the Antichrist. That's his son. The Antichrist is the son of Satan. See that? Half man, half lamb, half beast. That's this. I'm talking about this one is Satan's firstborn. He's a man. Satan also has a bride. It's the woman on the dragon. The dragon is his religion. He rides that dragon. But the woman on the dragon is Satan's wife. And it's the wife and Satan that will give birth to antichrists. Everybody, do you see it now? Satan has a bride. I wish we all can hear the book from a woman. She was Satan's second bride. I wish I can find her name. She was a bride of Satan. She was delivered by Jesus. Satan has brides. Satan has churches. He's a copycat. He wants to be like Jesus in the Father. He has brides, he has sons, he has daughters. He has princes. It's a kingdom. How are we going to fight if we don't understand this is a kingdom battle, not church? The church is too small in power and anointing to fight a kingdom. We got to come up to the kingdom. So let me say that again. You see that? Satan's wife is the woman on the dragon. Everybody, you see it? Satan's lieutenant, his right hand and his left hand man is death and hell. Antichrist is his son. He hasn't been revealed on earth yet. It's somebody whom Satan has raised. See? He has a bride. So imagine how demons and devils are birthed in hell. Millions of them. How? Because we cast them out. Why are they still coming back? You can actually kill demons. Burn them to ashes. Who is giving birth to them? Recognize it. This is my flesh. This is a devil. Mind battles is what? Your soul. See? Death. Demons. And it's thoughts you know you don't think of. Come on, we're all there. Start having these thoughts. See? And the flesh. What's the flesh? Snakes. Because they were cursed to eat the dirt. So all they can come for is your flesh. That's their food. They eat flesh. Everybody see the difference between devils, demons, death, hell? See that? Satan, he's in hell. He can't come on earth, but he will be soon because his time is short. His time is short, so he's going to be let loose on earth to deceive the whole world with the Antichrist. Come on, with the beast. Come on, with the false prophet. And they're all stationed in different places. The false prophet is coming from the Roman Catholic Church. The dragon is from China. People say, oh, the Antichrist is in America. Nope. If Adolf Hitler, if he will have the spirit of Adolf Hitler, then where is he coming from? Jesus told me he will be worse than Hitler. Worse than Hitler. I said, oh, he will be worse than Hitler. I don't want to tell you his race. Anybody, you see it? Can it be a man or a woman? It has to be a man because the earth was given a man. The earth was given to a man. So the Antichrist is a man. That's why there will be tribulation and great tribulation. Why must all these things come to pass? So that Father God can finally now put them in lake of fire, the second death. There's going to be a war between the sons of God and the sons of Satan. Yes. And I need to teach this one in time when the time comes. How Jesus told me 1/3 of the sons of men will be captured by Satan. So he's going to use fallen men in his army against men who have been glorified by the Father in Jesus. That's the war. It's a war. For what? 8 billion souls. Who's going to have dominion over the earth? But you see why we men of God, women of God need prayers? Me, well, I don't want to pray that prayer. I don't know if you want to go, but you need to go down there and see it. The boardroom of hell. The library of hell. Can I tell you about the library of hell? In that place, Satan has books, plans, how to destroy people. In those books. And he sends demons on errands. Just like God sends angels for us, he sends demons on errands. This is Kofi's book. Everything about him is here. This is how you tempt him. Let me tell you how I first knew. I didn't know this before. A woman of God, Shanika, called me and said, man of God, I was first taken to hell with Jesus. And she was taken to the library of hell. And she saw a file cabinet. And Satan had files of different men of God in that file. And he will pull it open and give it to a demon to come on earth to finish his assignment. I said, Lord, I want to go there and see it myself because I want to make sure. Same thing. Those movies we are watching is real. I'm telling y'all, man. Them zombies and everything's in hell. It's real. That's what you say. Cast them out. You shouldn't be afraid. Cast them out. It means you don't belong on earth. Let me say it again. Devils and demons and death and hell, they don't belong on earth. That's what Jesus says. Cast them out of here. This is your domain. You are on earth. If you see a devil or a demon in someone or anywhere, I've given you authority and power to cast, basically to arrest them. They are on wrong property. You know, when somebody's on your property, what can you do? You can sue them. When somebody's on your property, what can you do? You can call the police on them. Well, why are we not calling on angels, on the demons on our property on earth? Or those who have the authority from Jesus to cast them out because they don't belong on earth. The earth is the Lord's. Don't let anyone tell you the earth belongs to Satan. No, the earth belongs to Jesus. He's the Lord of the earth. And so anybody who trespasses this earth must be arrested and put in prison in hell. Look, the type of casting out that's coming, it's not the one you are seeing right now. Oh, no. Jesus is about to take the casting out of devils and demons and aliens to another level, the highest level. This one will be one word, not rababababa. No, my friend. No, you have to walk in sonship. One word. Jesus said one word. He didn't say that's a prophet. He said that's a son. Whenever, all of you realize whenever demons saw Jesus, they say, oh, thou art the son of the most high God. They knew his rank as sonship. So demons only listen to sons, not prophets. That's why many prophets are struggling to cast out demons. Why is the devil coming back? Why is the demon coming back in that person's body? Because that person, that man of God is not a son. They are anointed, but they are not appointed. It's a difference. You have to be appointed to do this job. It's like the police. They are appointed to arrest criminals. The same thing in the kingdom of God. Demons and devils are necessary to be what? Because let me tell you why. Some people, you might not think this is not important, but they are dragging souls to hell. And Jesus loved the lost. So don't underestimate or undermine deliverance or healing ministries. They are part of salvation. He told me, they can't see my face if they have sickness, diseases, and devils. So I must first give you my kingdom and my power first. Do my work. Heal the sick, raise the dead, cast out devils. After that is done, then glory, the third one. Glory is face to face. How can they reach glory? They are possessed. How can the children of Israel meet God on Sinai if they are in bondage in Egypt? They got to be delivered for face to face. They have to be delivered to see his face. They have to be healed to see his face. So healing and deliverance is necessary for intimacy. As a matter of fact, I'm saying you can't have intimacy without deliverance and healing, because there are levels of deliverance, deeper, deepest. Levels of healing, closer, closest. So don't be blaspheming men of God who have deliverance ministries. Oh, you are working of the devil. Can the devil cast out the devil? There is no casting out of devils in hell. It's only in heaven. You say, because the first person who was cast out of heaven was Lucifer. So when heaven come on earth, what happens? Let's break that down. In heaven, the Father is the one who gave the decree for Michael to put Lucifer out of the house. It's like a family, right? Everybody, it's like a family, right? The angels are a family. They are brothers. One of the children, which is Lucifer, is acting stubborn and rebellious and prideful in the family. See that? And if we don't stop the disease in heaven, he gonna spread it to everybody in the family. And all the angels gonna become like him. That's not a good sign in the kingdom. So the father, what does the father do in the house? Discipline the child. So him being kicked out of heaven was punishment, discipline for disobedience to the Father. But if you meet Satan, he will tell you otherwise. Well, God was jealous of me. Jealous of what? I know some of you are saying, why? The way he's talking, that's how you know when you've met Satan one-on-one. He's not what you think he is. If you know who you are in Jesus, you'll be like, why we got all this fear about him? Oh, my friend, you are more than him. You just don't know who you are. When you know who you are, you put him in his place. Because now you have the Father in you. And the same way the Father kicked them out of the house, you have the same DNA of the Father in you. Kick him out of your house. Resist the devil and he will flee. Take note. Submit to God, resist the devil and he will flee. The reason why many people can't cast out devil, they're not submitted to God first. You have to submit in the God realm and then resist him, then he will flee. So there's levels of casting out devils. When you are submitted to God, he will flee without you even telling him. And there are times where you have to exercise authority and power to say, get out. I remember one time, I was walking with Jesus and Satan showed up. I'll say this one now. Let me say this. I'm going to say this one. It's concerning Corey. I'm going to say this one. Satan came to Jesus and said, I want to sift Corey like wheat, like Peter. This was concerning Corey. I was there. He said, give me Corey, like Peter. I want to sift him like wheat. Jesus said, come with me. That's when Corey came out and said, he saw me interceding for him in court of heaven. That was the meeting. Satan had a meeting with Jesus to take Corey. You guys, man, let me tell you, the Bible is real, though. The Bible is real. Don't let nobody tell you the Bible is not real. The Bible is real. Satan has meetings with Jesus about people. Give me Kofi. Give me Peter. He got a cursing problem. See? If you have a problem, like you don't let Jesus change, Satan has the right to go to Jesus to ask you for him. It says, Peter, Jesus told Peter, sorry. Satan told Jesus, give me Peter. He has a cursing problem. He has a murderous spirit. And he has things in him in common with him. So he belongs to me. I want to sift him like wheat. That's a harvest term. Do you know Satan has meetings with Jesus in court of heaven? Reporting you and I, give me Kofi, give me Corey. Corey don't mind, so I'm sharing with you. He was in heaven accusing Corey, saying, give me Corey. And then he mentioned Corey's weakness. I got on my face and I showed Jesus my wounds and my scars and my bruises, just like Jesus do for you and I. You do it for your brother and your sister. And Jesus said, I have an immutable covenant with my son Corey. You know what Jesus did? He pointed his two fingers like a gun and shot Satan out of the court. Lightning bolts came from his hand like gunfire. He said, get out of my court. Train my hands for war, my fingers to what? Fight. Jesus was fighting for Corey while I was on my face for Corey. Fingers to fight. I said, wow, Jesus. His fingers, see Jesus' fingers. My God, that's power. He did a gun. I wish we can see each other. He did his hand like in a gun form. Get out. You know why? Because Corey has an immutable covenant, plus somebody interceding for him. Get connected with somebody who can lay down their life for you before Jesus to fight for you. Satan wanted him. Just like Peter, Jesus prayed for Peter. And because Peter loved Jesus the most, come on, it's your love. See, look, because Peter loved Jesus the most, Jesus prayed for him. And even though he denied Jesus, come on, he was still redeemed. So I knew I have to go and pray for Corey. But in a different way. It's not prayer. I have to show first Jesus, my wounds, my scars, my bruises, my stripes, your cross. Can you lay down your life for someone? Can you lay down your life for someone? Say, Jesus said, get out. That's how I knew the scripture says, my fingers to fight. Jesus was fighting for him. Because of what? Because of his love for Jesus and his love for me. You need someone on earth who will lay down their life for you so that Jesus can also lay down his life for you in heaven before the Father. Oh, I'm telling you, Satan is, he is going day and night saying, give me Michelle. Who is in court for you? Courts of heaven. How about courts of hell? That's how I knew, watch this. That's how I knew about fear. False emotions appearing real. False evidence appearing real. Watch this. Satan projects his identity issues on people to make them think it's them, but it's not them. It's astral projection. It's called identity projection. You start thinking things about yourself that's not you. So that when you think it and accept it, guess what happens? He goes to heaven and says, look the way she's thinking. Accusing you. It's called illusions and delusions. Illusions and delusion. You believe a lie. That's delusion. So if you believe a lie, see, if you believe a lie, that's not true. He makes you delusional. But if you, watch this, you reject your identity and who you are, he makes you illusion. If you don't take care, you are going to the third one. The third one is the most dangerous one, a reprobate mind. That one, you are handed over to your own lust. Nah, we don't want a reprobate mind. We want a new mind. But you see it? What's people who are delusional? They believe lies. They don't love the truth. Because the truth sets you free in court. So if you believe a lie, you are delusional. That's from hell. Illusions and delusions. So it's time. Jesus told me one time, I'm disappointed in my church because they don't even use half of the authority I gave them. They are allowing devils and demons in my house. Can you imagine if Jesus said, I'm the master of the house, I'm giving you authority and I'm leaving. When I come back, occupy till I come back. Mm-hmm. So it's time for us to fight. It's time for us for war. Many prophets, especially, are going through battles right now. I just talked to one on Facebook. Say, man of God, I'm running like Jonah. The attacks are too much. I said, no, my friend, I'm here for you. He said, Jezebel is after me, like Elijah. So I'm hiding under the rocks. Reach out to somebody who's in need. Some are depressed. Some are suicidal. Some want to give up. Some are offended. Some are rejected. Some are isolated. Be sensitive and reach out to your fellow prophets. The spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet, When you have the spirit of the prophet, you can discern and be sensitive about your other fellow prophets who are going through, and give them some of your strength, your love. Because one day you will need it, and God will send them when you are weak. It's like an eagle on the mountain. That, watch this, the eagle has lost its feathers, and it needs other eagles to feed it because its beak is broken. You know how many prophets I know Jezebel is trying to break their mouth, close their mouth from talking, using threats. Oh, tomorrow by this time I'll kill you. Then you'll be fear. I'm afraid. Reach out to them. The warfare is intense. Be your brother's keeper. Be your sister's keeper. It's called grace. Mm-hmm. So I'm just waiting. Certain men of God, women of God, I have to meet them. Not because I want a platform. Not because I want connection. Their names are in hell and they need to know. No, they are not going to hell. Hell has made them a target. No, they're not going to hell. Hell has written their name on the FBI, the most wanted list. And their pictures are there. Guys, their pictures, their faces is on those boards. Thanks to Jesus, who's a watchman. He said, watch and pray for them in secret. Watch. Watch means he will take you there to watch the proceedings. Watch. You know, hell is like Democrats and Republicans. Mm-hmm. Hell is like Democrats and Republicans. Those demons there are very selfish. They fight each other. Mm-hmm. But when it's time for them to destroy, they are united. When would the church be? We need to be ready for the end time war and battle, because look, there is a great falling away coming. It's already happening. The people are falling away. They are falling into deception, seduction, manipulation. You just stand. We must stand. You know what the fathers in heavens are saying, the patriarchal fathers? Our generation will go through worse than what they went through. Who? He said, if Jesus come, will he find faith in your time? Mm-hmm. You need it. That's why I will always teach intimacy, relationship, fellowship, communion. Mm-hmm. That's the only way. The only way is to stay close to Jesus and the Father in the secret place. Keep Jesus in the secret place of your hearts. It's not out of fear, but out of love. And you don't need to be afraid. Yes, these they are real. Fear is an octopus. Pride is a snake. They are real creatures. You don't need to be afraid if you have Jesus. Come on. See, it says the word of God is a two-edged sword. Imagine when Jesus give you a two-edged sword, cutting their head off. Victorious. But you got to stay humble and meek. Mm-hmm. So, grace and peace tonight concerning the courts of hell and the courts of death. Tomorrow, every day will come up by grace, new one. How do we win? I heard when America was sentenced to death in hell through racism. They want to use racism to start civil war. I saw America split into three because of the civil war. You said